Welcome to Real Life in Real Estate. I'm Nikki Robbs, a local real estate agent serving Tacoma, Puyallup, and beyond. And today I'm joined by Cassy Randolph, whom you may remember from our holiday budgeting episode because that had a lot of really great tips for that. And we had no video, so that's probably why you remember it. It was just tips, no video, but here we are in the studio at the same time, so we're guaranteed a video content. That's so much fun. Cassy is a financial advisor, and she has got lots of great ideas about how you can grow your wealth, whether you're a homeowner or a future home buyer or a current home buyer. If you have any extra money, how is it working for you? And I think this can be really beneficial in the holiday season because sometimes we get money as gifts. And then, it has to go towards something urgent, but what if it could be used in your benefit? And so thank you so much for coming. I can't wait to hear what are your tips for using money wisely and making it work for you.
Thank you, Nikki. And hi, everybody. My name is Cassy Randolph. I'm a financial advisor at First Command. So when we talk about money, everybody know the importance of investment, but not everybody really have the time or the energy to consider what type of investment is best for you. So today I just want to go over some of the type of investment and how that beneficial for you and your family's future. Mm-hmm. So typically, there's two type of investment. One for retirement, one for non-retirement. And when we talk about retirement, everybody knows nowadays most of the companies stop offer pension and or a lot of like bonus they offer the 401k, 403b type, employer sponsored, retirement program for you to contribute with your employers at the same time so you can start building your own future retirement. Because to be honest, I don't even know if Social Security will be available by the time I'm eligible. So
none of us know, right? Every 5 years, I'm not sure. Is it going to last this long? Mm-hmm. Is it still going to be available? We don't know.
Because Social Security was built based off the 1960s data. So people living way longer nowadays compared to that time. Then the program haven't had much update since. So it's there as a backup, but I'm not banking on it. So
let's not plan on that one.
So that's making it more important to building your own retirement income for your future, because I don't know everybody else. I don't want to work till 80, 90 years old if I live that long, But, I want to enjoy my life a little bit, getting close to 60. That's when I really think about looking at it. Have my goal to have enough for retirement and go from there. So today we'll talk about the retirement. So we all know that we just talk about the 401k and 403b. You can contribute to that, and there's a larger amount you can contribute. So for 2024, you can contribute up to $23,000. The max contribution limit. And for people older than 50 and higher, they can also do a catch-up up to like $7,500 for that. So because they know as you get older, it's harder for money to grow value compared to a 20 years old to start contribute. So they give you some catch-up to maximize your retirement income. If you can't afford it. So which is a good way.
Since we don't have time for the compound interest to work in our favor. Let's just throw more money into it.
And as we get older, we don't want our money to be too risky. So that's also made it grow a little bit slower, And also want to talk about the individual retirement. Everybody know you can open either a traditional or Roth individual account for yourself to contribute on top what you're doing with your company, your employer sponsored program. And usually that there's no match for that. Some of the company program, they have a matches. They match a certain percentage or match a certain dollar amount that help you. That's a free money. I will tell everybody take advantage of that. Get that match amount because that's a free money they gave you. And who's really gonna give you free money?
Nobody's giving you free money now.
So that's the free money, and that's beneficial you for the future. So why not? The individual one, yes, you don't get matched. It's just your own money going into on top of what you're already doing through the employer's program. and the maximum contribution is $7,000.
Okay.
And for people 50 and older, they can do up to $8,000 for 2024. And I think most people can understand the traditional and the Roth difference. So it is traditional, you don't pay tax now, but you pay tax during the distribution.
Mm-hmm.
And Roth, you pay tax now, but it's income tax free when you're taking out later on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all play into how your tax bracket gonna be. Mm-hmm. Usually we typically recommending younger people to do a Roth because you are at a lower tax bracket, more than likely you're older. So it's probably beneficial for you to pay the little bit tax now than paying the tax later, because IRS is gonna get your money regardless.
They're going to find a way, aren't they?
And also with traditional, there is a required minimum distribution at the age of 73, so you had to start taking money. If you don't, there's a penalty to it too.
Really?
Yes.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, they'll penalize you for not distribute the money because IRS want their tax. Like we let you have for tax free for how many years? Now give me my tax.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but with Roth, there's no age limit when you had to take the money out.
Mm-hmm.
If your income between pension or whatever money you saved up, you never need to touch that money. You can let it keep growing, and as long as you work, you still can contribute to it.
Yeah.
And like says, I have let's say at first comment, we're working with a lot of military people, like a lot of retirees, that we don't need to touch that money. There's gonna be inheritance to our kids.
Yeah.
So they just let the money grow there.
Okay.
Yeah. But if they need it, you can take it out anytime, and there's no penalty, nothing.
I like the no penalty part.
Yeah. Yeah. And also the little bit with retirement, if any retirement account, you take it off 59.5 before 59.5, there is a 10% penalty, but there's some kind of exemption, but it's case on case basis, So most time I say, unless you absolutely had such a hard financial hardship, do not touch your retirement.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one thing we said, do not touch your retirement, because if you touch it now, you jeopardize your own retirement for the future.
So there probably is a very few good situations where that's a good idea, but for mostly, no, there's probably some other way that will benefit you better.
Yeah, like so when you talk about the home buyer, if you have a Roth account, you contributed for 5 years, you can take up to $10,000 as a first home buyer to use that, and there's no penalty.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's something people don't know or they're not familiar with it, but you can take up to $10,000 and use that as for the first time home buyer.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you could use that for your down payment or your closing costs or whatever it is that you need. But I find that $10,000 really is that either it's a down payment or it's closing costs. You usually don't need both. And if you can buy a car, if you can save $10,000, and so apparently if you have $10,000 in your IRA account,
the Roth account,
that's a great way to save on purpose.
Yeah.
And then see how much it can grow, and then just use it when you need it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So next one we want to talk about is the investment for your children.
Yes. Let's talk about investing for our kids.
Yeah, because everybody know how student loan can rack up your debt, right? Even though some are lower interest, but they still
have interest.
Yes, they still have interest. Yeah. They still, grow on it if you don't pay them, That's why it's important, if it's in your budget, everything's based off your budget. If it's in your budget, it may be beneficial to invest into a 529 education fund for the kids. Not only that money is grow tax free, and they can use it for anything related to college, or right now even K-12 education, you can use up to $10,000 a year on
Really?
That. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So for people who want to send their kids to private college, private education, that's there available for them to use.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
That could have come in handy a little while ago.
Yeah. So that's good to for also 529 education plan fund is transferable. So let's say you have 2 kids. The older one said, no, I don't want to go to the college.
Right. I'm going to go to trade school. I'm going to go be a home builder. I'm going to get my degree in construction science. Yeah.
Even they say they don't want to go to college.
Yeah.
you can change the beneficiary to the younger one that want to go to college and use the money, and there's no penalty, nothing. And the new the Secure Act 2.0 just came out, I think, in the last year, to allow you to roll over up to 35,000 of that unused 529 education to the beneficiaries Roth IRA.
Whoa.
Yeah, before it's education purpose only. You take it out for anything other than education, you're gonna get penalized, but it still is. But they let you roll over up to 35K.
Wow.
Based off the yearly contribution limit.
Okay.
To the beneficiaries Roth IRA. So you can have a 21 years old that don't start working and say, I'm not using the rest of 529.
Yeah.
You already building retirement for them.
Wow.
So that kind of make a 529 become more attractive. Plus, the growth on it is way better than investment, because usually 529 education plan fund are at a lower cost compared to the regular investment. So you're actually getting more out of it.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It sure wasn't like that 20 years ago.
No. This just came out last year. I'm like, I wish I did that with my son, because I'm retired from the military. So we had GI Bill, so he can't use that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, we don't need to do that. So that's we still want to invest some money. So we just open a small UTMA, which is a children investment account.
The children's investment account. Okay.
So it's called a uniform transfer to minor. So pretty much you instead do a saving, you can do an investment account for the kids and use the custodian of the account. But kids become the legal owner of the account when they become an age of majority. So between 18 to like a 21.
So do you get to set that age, or do they have to prove competency? How do you
No,
determine
pretty
that?
much by law, when they become an age of majority, that account don't belong to them.
Okay.
But there's some people.
Not 18-year-olds are ready for that.
No. So there's some paperwork parents had to do to re-categorize, re-register account to honor the kid's name. But technically, that's the money you can save for them. It can be $25 a month, something like that, smaller amount. It doesn't have to be a lot.
Wow.
But when you do that throughout the years, you are building liquid asset for them.
Mm-hmm. That's genius.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't know that occurred. Didn't know that was out there.
Yeah, that's for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so some of the parents do that. So that help out, they can't. The worst thing, the kids get married, it'd be their money. You say, you go ahead. I already gave you the money for the wedding. I'm not giving you any more money.
Or for their first house.
Yeah.
That's genius.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. All right. What else do you have for minors?
Pretty much that's the two.
521 and the UTMA.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those two programs for the minors, there may be some state-sponsored program for like the kids with disabilities, like I think it's ABLE account, but let's say it's a more state-sponsored program.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna go too into detail on that.
Right. So really, if you have a kid with disabilities and you're interested in the ABLE accounts and all the other things that go along with that, then that needs to be an individual appointment, right?
Yeah. Each state probably have their own program and rules for that.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've done a little bit of dabbling into that because I do have a kid with a disability, and we determined it just wasn't a good fit for his goals and for his needs. And so all right, it's good for someone, it's just not good for us.
Yeah, let's say everybody's situation is different, so you have to also look at your situation and compare what's out there for you and find the best program for you.
It's so true.
And your family.
Yeah.
And so one more investment is the non-retirement related account, just a regular brokerage account, that allow you to invest money and have more than likely with investment, you should have a better return than a saving.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also that money, you can take it out anytime. There's no amount you can put in. There's no limit on how much you can put in there. There's no limit on, when you had to take it out, at what age. Mm-hmm. It's your money. It's just a investment account for you to have that cash available when you really need it.
Yeah, so whether you're 18 and you've got $500 or you're 35 and you have $500,
Yeah,
either way,
that's
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's say with our investment program, you can start as low as $25.
$25?
Yes. There's no minimum requirement. As long as you can afford $25 going into your investment account, you can start there.
So pretty much anybody.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I didn't know it was that low.
Yeah, because we believe in everybody should be able to have a financial plan and should be able to contribute to their own future finance.
Mm-hmm.
There shouldn't be you had to have a large asset in order to invest.
Right.
Because that's what we believe in this long-term commitment type, than doing a larger chunk every time. If you have that large chunk, do it.
Yeah.
It's better than the sitting in the saving. A lot of people say, oh, high yield saving have a better return rate than some investment, but high yield saving gonna change as if the Federal Reserve keep dropping the interest rate, your high yield saving interest rate gonna go down.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, we're gonna back to that 2% is high yield saving.
Not doing very much good at
No.
2%, is it?
Yeah, that can't even be inflation.
No, it's not.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, then next year it's going to be basically the same amount of money.
Yeah. So those ones are really, if you don't have a large amount of cash laying around, you don't see the difference.
Yeah. It would take too long.
Yeah, it's taking too long. So let's say I'm not saying invest everything.
Mm-hmm.
Always have an emergency saving on the side because there is capital gain tax associated with non-retirement related investment.
Mm-hmm.
But it might be small, it might be zero, depends on if the money you're taking out is less than what you contribute into it or more than what you contribute into it. So that's pretty much for the type of investment. So how you invest the money and what's some of the ways that we recommend people to do when they come to investment. Just feel the tip that it's what we approach, but it's not the only way.
Yeah.
But it has been working so far. So one is we call it dollar cost averaging. So pretty much you just put a fixed amount of money in there every month or every few months, depends on your budget. You never stops it. So what you end up doing is more than likely you are buying the share you buy more share when the market price is low and the less share when the market price is high. Overall, you have more share in your investment portfolio. So if the market go down, you buy more share to build it up. But when the market price goes up, the overall investment goes up with it because you have way more shares than you try to keep buying at a higher price.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one way to helping people combat the emotional stress that you have with the market, because everybody be panicking when the market goes down. They're like, oh, my money went from 10K to 6K now. I'm losing $4,000.
Yeah.
But you don't see if you buy more shares when the share value is at $6 compared to $10, you're getting way more shares. So when the market go back to the $10, you are having more than $10,000 in your investment.
Yeah.
You probably have 12 or 13, depends on how it grows, right?
Yeah.
But if you constantly buying at a higher price, you don't see that much growth on your investment because it takes time for the market to keep going higher than what you're already paying on the higher cost. So that's one way and especially for people don't want to, if you are not really like a investment savvy, it's a better option. Just let the money do its own work. Let the money work for you.
Yeah.
Instead of get panicking over the market change, which happens daily. It's
sometimes hourly, right?
Yeah, hourly. So do you really have that time and energy to sit in front of a computer, check on that?
Yeah.
Money only matters when you're taking them out. Your investment value only matters when you had to take the money out. So maybe you should just time in when you want to take the money out if it's not emergency.
Yeah.
Also diversification. you don't want all your money sitting in a higher risk investment, like the stocks, because stocks have higher risk.
Okay.
And you might want to break down into a little bit in the bonds, or maybe have a little bit cash set on the side. But like I say, it depends on people's risk. There's people that, no, I don't want any bonds and no cash. I just want all into the stock.
Mm-hmm.
Then you also have to look, do you want large cap or small cap or international? That all have a different
And
returns.
that's where working with a professional who understands the different kinds of risks for all these different types of modalities, like you would be able to educate someone and help them assess, what am I comfortable with? Maybe they probably are starting with you and have no idea how much risk they want to take. And then talking with you is how they would understand, oh, I'm comfortable with this. Here's a potential outcome. Yeah, we can work toward that.
Yeah. Also, it's your comfort level when it comes to the risk. Because if I'm talking to a 50, 60 years old, I'm not going to try to recommend something super risky, because they don't, like we talk about the compound interest, you don't have the time for that to grow. But a younger one maybe go a little more risky, and as you get closer to the retirement age, relook at your portfolio and reduce the risk. So you are into, then you went from the accumulation to to the wealth building phase. So you are not like try to let it grow, but you at time you want to be a little more conservative, so your money does not take too much risk. So it's different based on the people, based on your age, based on your comfort level when it comes to investment. So it's not a one type fits all type.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah.
And one last thing, just asset allocation. Same thing, we'll just talk about a little bit similar with the diversification. You just want making sure, if you like technology, we can go a little bit heavy on technology, but you also want to have some consumer goods or automobile stuff in between to prevent, if technology didn't do good, you are not have such a big loss. You still have some, maybe that time, automobile went up, or, pharmaceutical went up, that can offset the loss. So you are not have a big loss and kind of balance you out. So all that something is, talking to an advisor can help. And also we have, mutual fund or ETF stuff that's already set to a portfolio to build it for you to target that risk. So you don't have to be there looking like 1,000 different stocks, try to choose which one you want.
Let the professionals do the educating here.
Like I said, my money doing the same thing. I let the investments people will manage my money. Based off my tolerance, based off my comfort level, they do that. And I'm just like, let me go check my balance every few months. Okay, it's doing good. I'm fine with it.
Okay, so you only check every few months, huh?
Yeah. But I don't want that, because those are for my future. I don't really need the money now. My retirement for my future. So I don't want to get stressed out right now, because I'm not touching that money. I can't.
Right. What's going to happen in 10 years or 15 years? That's really what the goal. So that's what matters.
At that time when I need the money, that's as I get closer to retirement age, I'm definitely going to tone it down. But I'm not going to be overly stressed about it now, because I'm still got 10, 20 years before I'm going to touch that money, right?
Right.
So
hopefully.
So pretty much biggest thing with investments, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't be too consolidate on your stuff. Give it more freedom. Let it be spread it a little bit, but in a strategy way, not just random, pick.
Which I think goes along. It's a very similar suggestion for home buying and then wealth building through real estate is like, buy a home and then don't sell it.
Just don't buy and sell right away. You're not going to see any value doing that.
I mean, we did have that one blip for 2 years where home values just skyrocketed, but that's not normal and not likely to happen again. And so if you're going to buy a home, you're not going to sell it in 2 years. You want to be there for 5 or 10 and really let it grow. So just like your investments, be patient.
It's all long term. You want to, your investment to grow. It's a long term thing. It's not a short term type.
Love it. Great. Any last words? Anything we should sign off with?
Let's say, if anybody interested to talk more about their, investment or just, overall finance, we offer complimentary consultations and planning building. Let's say a consultation can help you and help us to understand more your goals and the desire with your money.
Yeah.
And in turn, we can look at if we are a good fit to work together. Also, it's also a personality.
I think that's really important, right?
Because,
just like not everyone who comes to me isn't the right fit. I can't be the right fit for everybody, and you can't either.
Yeah, me too. There's people I saw start talking, we suddenly click. There's people I feel like I'm pulling teeth and they still not comfortable with me. So, it happens.
It happens, and that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree. So where's the best place to contact you? Phone, email, social media? What do you like?
So my cell phone number, my work cell is 360-392-5409. You can text me, call me anytime. My email is CRandolph with the PH at firstcommand.com. And I'm pretty sure Nikki will have all the information too.
Yeah.
And my office is located in Lakewood, so it's not far.
Not far at all.
Yeah. So you can contact me multiple ways.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming today. I think that was going to, I'm hoping that my kids will listen to this episode. If not now, it gives us a resource to be like, hey, I think you should think about this, especially if they get higher paying jobs and it's easier to not live from day to day.
As soon as they start, like even if they doing some, part-time job in college, they can start a Roth IRA for themselves. Let's say $25. Seriously, that's like
amazing.
That's like a what? Not even a week of Starbucks.
Right.
You can maybe 3 Starbucks. That's it.
Like 3 Starbucks. You can just give that up for 1 week.
And all that do is give you what? Make you high sugar and gain weight. Right?
Yes, exactly. So there you go. You can skip coffee for 1 week and start your investment account.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, thank you so much for coming. If you learned anything today, then you really should reach out to Cassy, and obviously with the free consult, then really low risk. You just start talking and see if it's a good fit. And if you're looking at buying and selling real estate in the Tacoma, general Puget Sound area, give me a call. All of our contact information is in the show notes, and this episode was edited and produced by Will Robs. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.